Alright, Janush. What are we doing, ladies? Galloping. Galloping. Ciao. How are we doing? It's time for some digits. Last cast of the day. Might be the most important though. Just read this out to the Book of Faces. I'm going to read it out to you fam now, but I'll be courteous. Those on the replay, you can fast forward. I'll wait, see if anybody drops in, see if we've got any notifications, and then I shall commence. We'll be here for about 45 minutes. Knowing me, it's actually about a 15-minute presentation, but I'm going to expand on it. Numbers, Sumer, mathematics. I did name it 9432, but it's now changed to base 12 and 60 mathematics of the Sumerian era. That picture that's used there is called the Battle of Chaos for the thumbnail. Okay, I'm going to dive straight into it. Thank you for the viewing again. Get ready. I've got a lot of numbers. You know I like my numbers, and I have an affinity with them. I believe they are alive to some extent. Language is going to come out of this. Language of, not a language of numbers, so to speak, but if you just enjoy the ride, sit back, relax, get a drink, and yeah, we're still on Wednesday the 28th of August 2019 CE. Here we go then. It is said that if there is ever to be such a thing as a true universal language, it will most likely be expressed in the realms of mathematics, geometry, energy patterns and frequency. If man wants to understand the mysteries of the universe, we must understand frequency and vibration. Who said that? You know this. You know this tube. Nikola Tesla. Mathematics are the science or language of nature. Sasha, the trance DJ, informed me of this back in the early 1990s. So thanks to Nikola and Sasha for starting me onto these areas of trains of thoughts. Could it be that this language, or at least the foundation of it, already exists here upon Earth? Is it possible that over the course of thousands of years we have been somehow guided in the process of creating this new form of communication? And if so, what type of information will or could be conveyed through it? That could not be expressed in any other way. In the search for these answers, we must be prepared to trek through both time and space to open our eyes and minds wide enough to notice compelling coincidences, and stand back far enough to see if the building blocks of some kind of mathematical spatial frequency-based language start to emerge. Before we begin this journey, we will pause here in the present day, August 20, 2019, to notice some of the ways that we measure and tabulate the world around us. This is an important step, for how we measure things can be as revealing as why we count them. First, we will take a look at the way we measure time for all practical purposes. The smallest unit is 1 second, and we all know it takes 60 seconds to make a minute, and then 60 of these minutes to make an hour. This hour, of course, is the unit by which we divide our days, and these days become months, years, decades, or decades, centuries, and so on. Speaking of 60, let man take a moment to notice that all geometry, whether it's 2 or 3 dimensional, is also derived from base 60 mathematics. That provide the foundation for a 360-degree circle, which in turn provides us with all the angles and formulas for creating virtually every shape known to man today. Now let's look at how many cultures from all over the world have chosen to count and group things. And right away, we see that we've been attracted to the number 12. 12 eggs in a dozen, 12 months in a year, 12 inches in a foot, 12 signs of the zodiac, and so forth. Strangely, whether it's telling disciples or mythical gods, the number 12 appears often in the telling of our greatest stories about ourselves. And what about distance? Your local township might be measured in meters or other units. But when we talk about measuring our planet and realm, the standards we all use revert back to base 60 units of measurements or geometric degrees. Are you noticing a pattern here? We seem to be encountering a lot of 12s and 60s. Are they related? If so, how? Okay then, Tube, let's find out. To answer that piece of the puzzle, we must travel roughly 5,000 years back in time to visit the ancient Sumerian culture of Mesopotamia. For here's where our 1260 base maths comes from. This counting system, which was invented by the same people who produced the world's first written language, the Sumerian clay tablets, involved counting the knuckles of the 4 long fingers on one hand and then multiplying by all 5 digits on the other hand. And if you do this, you will get a maximum of 12 knuckles times 5 fingers, which of course total 60. How these cosmic jumps in language and mathematics occurred so suddenly is open to debate. But it is interesting to note that the ancient Sumerians themselves wrote about being given this information by the sky god visitors. They called them the Anunnaki, planet Nibiru, and so forth. Who and what the Anunnaki were is a hotly contested subject. One thing that cannot be defined is the fact. One thing that cannot be denied is the fact that over 5,000 years ago a mathematical system was born that is incredibly in use and serves us still right now today. Denied turned into defied in my eyes then, and then it changed back to denied. So apologies, that's what happens with the words my brain and eyes, and especially when I'm tired. So it's especially hard for me this, but the numbers they don't change. So now that we have had our various units of measurements all based on the Sumerian 1260 counting system, let us jump forward like Marty McFly, but in an interesting learning way. And perhaps we might get a hoverboard at the end of this one. No promises though. Let's jump forward to a few pivotal moments in his story and see what other number patterns and synchronicities appear. Now, in the 6th century BC, on the Greek island of Samos, the famed mathematician Pythagoras led a school of thought that married philosophy, mathematics, music, and of course geometry. And while Pythagoras did not discover advanced geometry, no, he did apply it in new ways, especially to the phonics and the music, the keys and the notes. For instance, he noticed that when a tautened string was plucked, it would create a tone. And when that string was divided exactly in half, it would make the same tone, only twice as high in pitch. The Pythagoras then came up with a numerical ratio based on harmonic fifths, and this led to the creation of the musical scale found at the root of most modern music. I would urge you to look at the solfeggio scale. It is important to note that according to Pythagoras, all musical notes were found by using mathematics, and as such were given number values according to their placement in a kind of master grid table. For instance, by using fifths, beginning from note uno, number 1, he was eventually guided to note 27, 2 and 7 add up to 9. To find the same note twice as high in pitch, he simply kept doubling it to 54, 108, 216 and 432, so on and so forth. If you've ever heard of Pythagorean tuning, you know that the number 432 is quite important. To Pythagoras himself, it probably wouldn't have stood out more than any other in his numerical grid. But in our quest to find a universal language, and to indigos, light workers, crystals and law enthusiasts, universal law and universal language, there's the connection based on what is substance over form, the mathematics, the science, the frequency. This particular note represents a significant piece of coincidental evidence. You see many ancient musical instruments, from Tibetan bowls to native instruments, flutes, happen to produce the same tone, the tone that vibrates at 432 cycles per secondo. That's compelling, but even more intriguing is the fact that Pythagoras was not calculating vibration cycles to find tone 432, it just so happens to be the same number. What's more, for decades most modern musical instruments were also tuned to this same 4th octave A with a value of 432 cycles, but how could this be? Who chose this particular note as the keystone for instrumental tuning? And more importantly, why? We know in the war times it was changed, Joseph Goebbels and so forth, and we know about that bit, and we've got this bit locked in here. So here's where a deeper mystery will begin to emerge. And to explore it, we will all need to go back to Pythagoras' other passion, geometry. It's one of my passions. It involves the numbers and also goes with the cymatics. It is not an exaggeration to say that Pythagoras and his disciples, geometry and math, may have held the key to the nature of all life everywhere, and maybe it does. Let's look at the first geometric shapes. Yesterday you got the first symbols of Christianity, and I'll give you the first geometric shapes today: the circle, triangle, square and pentagon. In each of them are angles and degrees that, when added together, always total a specific number relative to that shape. For instance, the triangle, the sum total in all three interior angles is always 180. For both square and circle, that would be 360, and for pentagon it is 540. Now, at this moment, let's step back and look at these numbers in a different way, as there seems to be something about them that reaches beyond a simple sum of angles. Did you notice that they happen to be in the same numerical neighbourhood as tone 432? What's more, they all add up to 9, just like 432. 2160, the number expressed by both the cube and the germ of life pattern, that's not flower or seed, germ of life. You may have already noticed that without the 0, it's exactly half of our magic 432. That's worth noting. What is even more intriguing is the way this number keeps showing up in other large-scale measurements. To discover one of these measurements, we will need to jump forward from Plato's time to... Hi, you alright? See ya, hello? All good? Is he up? That's shake. What, Yanka?
That's me.
Me. I'm doing video, YouTube. I'm rolling. Yeah. Hey, I'll see you in a bit. I'll carry on. All is good. That's the next door neighbour. Child, assets, offspring. There we go. Plato's. We need to jump forward from Plato time to when the Mayan civilization was flourishing, roughly 1500 years ago. Mayan stargazing, the most accomplished astronomers the world has ever known. Their concept of cyclical time, cyclical, Cyclical. Brother Josh X calling on WhatsApp. We will reconvene very shortly. If I get disconnected again, that's why. I've sent him a message. I said we need to connect. So jump forward from Plato's time to when the Mayan civilization was flourishing, roughly 1500 years ago. Mayan stargazing, the most accomplished astronomers the world has ever known. Their concept of cyclical time led to many incredible discoveries. The accurate length of the year, the exact dates of seasonal changes, even the moments when solar and lunar eclipse is or when it would occur in the future. But the most amazing discovery was of something known as the precession of the equinox, which makes note of a very slow wobble of the Earth's axes. Somehow aware, I'd searched the Antikythera machine artifact as well that they found. Somehow aware of the fact that this wobble takes 25,920 years to complete, the Mayans called their cycle Uno, great year. One great year, 25,920, 25,920 years. With each of its 12 great months requiring 2,160 years to complete. And what about this? Did you know that the diameter of our moon, when measured in miles, also happens to total, yes, you guessed it, fans and subscribers of Crow 777 will especially know this, 2160 miles. Lastly, watch what happens when we apply simple division to this highly synchronous number. 2160 divided by 2 is 1080. The angle, sum of the octagon, oct 8, 53,720. The total of the hexagon by 5. What have I got here? 3,220. The total of the hexagon by 4, 540. The pentagon by 5. Are you ready? It's the keystone of 432, and by 6, 360. The number of both square and circle. All F sharps and C sharps with our 432A alpha thrown into the mix as if it was some kind of clue to solving a cosmic riddle. Cosmic conundrum. Maybe we should look at this number even more closely, as we have stated. Our closest celestial neighbour, the moon, 2,160 miles across, and 216 is exactly half of 432. What about the other large object in our sky? I hear you cry. Yes, okay, that would be the sun. Are you aware that it is 864,000 miles across? Incredibly, where the moon's base number sequence is half of 432, the sun's number sequence is exactly twice of 432. And you know how many seconds are in a day? No, you probably won't. I didn't till I had to work it out. 86,400 in a day, 24-hour period, or 430, or 40. My goodness. It's all right. I got distracted by a click. 432,000 for the 12 hours day, and 43,200. Come on, for the 12 hours a day, 43,200 for the 12 hours of night. In total, 86,400. Come on, David, for the love of doing so well. Or try this now then. Take the 360 degrees found in the circular shape of our sun and moon, and then multiply it by either 12 hours of either day or night, and the answer will be 4,320. How about this? What is the only whole number that, when squared, comes to within 0.1% accuracy to the measuring of the speed of light? I'll leave a little pause, a pregnant pause, to give birth to the answer. 432. What is going on here? We have all these different... Wow. I am Mr. Popular. That was another WhatsApp call. Something I need to know, maybe. I don't know. 432. What's going on here? I'm interrupted again. It's 432. All right, we got that bit. We have all these different things: Earth cycles, time, and celestial measurements, geometry, sonic frequency, yet they are all represented by the same numbers over and over again. To answer that, we must search for the factor common to all of them, and that common factor is the 5,000-year-old Sumerian 1260 counting system. It is what gave us the inches to a foot, the seconds to a minute, and the 360 degrees in geometry. It's almost as if the sky visitors, who the Sumerians called the Anunnaki, provided humanity with a counting system that would lead to the discovery of these synchronicities. Could it be that the number 432 is really is some kind of cosmic key that unlocks a language of a higher understanding? If so, I'm in. And if so, have these sky visitors ever been back to make sure that we don't miss the importance of the 432 matrix? I think yes. One possible answer can be found in the story of a man named George Merkel. No, that's the other man with the Sumerian. We've got George Van Tassel, a respected aeronautical engineer who believed he was contacted by ETs in the early 1950s. America, this is. During the encounter, Van Tassel said he was provided with a mathematical formula that could be used from everything from time travel to sound frequency healing. What? You're going to give it us? Of course I am. Of course I'm going to give it you. You want to know the formula? I'll tell you now. He used this to build the world famous Integratron in California, as in Kalifornia, the California, the dance of the Cali. What is this formula? All right, I'll tell you. Calm down. It is F Foxtrot equals 1 over Tango, or frequency equals one particular something divided by the number of time. Here's an example. What is that one something, Dave? All right, I'll do that for you as well. Lily, what is the biggest one on our planet? Well, I've just given you one big number for a year, haven't I? 25,920. Discovered by the Mayans, not me. I haven't stole it. I'm just repeating it. What if the number 4 time was the most logical choice of 60? Right then. Suddenly this mysterious equation is expressed as frequency equals 25,920 divided by 60. All right, bear with me, get going. Suddenly, this mysterious equation is answered. And are you ready for the answer? You're tapping away. It's 432. Not only the frequency that instruments all over the world have been tuned to for thousands of years, but also the number that reveals the synchronous nature of life on this planet. Plan ET. Well, you all right here, my love? She thinks she's hungry. Yes, Lily. She's ruining the cast. You all right? She's just down here, look. She's not that far away. Just there. And you're whinnying. Got calls coming in. Not very calm, is it? What's happening with everyone? We got a disturbance. We're having an invasion. The sky turned red. Anyway, we carry on. Noticing all these coincidences revealed by the 432 matrix and the Sumerian counting system, man must wonder if other ancient cultures were aware of this as well. Just scratching the surface tube, it would seem that indeed they were. See Michael Tellinger and Forbidden Knowledge, Billy Carson, and others. For example, let's take this scenario 12 and square it for a total of 144. Right then, we see that it is indeed a number and tone contained within our factor 9 grid. Expanding outwards, we find 1,440, then 144,000, which is a number that appears all over the realm in the most compelling of ways. Take, for instance, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Don't take it and pick it up, it's very heavy, you'll get backache, but just take it as in think of it. It happens to have been covered with 144,000 smooth white casing stones. The ancient Mayans, 14,000 days with the length of their 394-year back tune time cycle, which has just begun again. Back tune, not a back tune as in rewind select to play that tune back to me again, but back tune as in a period of time. In the Bible we realise that there will be 144,000 chosen ones redeemed from the earth prior to the apocalypse. Obviously, number sequences like these have been significant to many different cultures and religious sects into one enigmatic group, in particular the Knights Templar and or now the Freemasons. Were the Templars, now Masons, the supposed keepers of sacred information, also aware of the factor 9 grid, the divine 9, the number I've got into 9 before, it's fantastically amazing, the 432 key and the number 144,000. Their infatuation with the numbers 3 and 13 might also be very telling. For instance, if you divide 144,000 by 432, the answer is 333.3 infinity. Or take a look at the back of a dollar bill. That famous unfinished pyramid could be revealing some interesting clues and maths. For instance, there are 13 steps climbing the pyramid, and 13 times 33.3 is 432.9. I was like, ooh, 0.9, but at least it's 0.9. It's not like 433, but 432.9. Please do the maths. America, you can do the math. Pond, the brothers and sisters. Even the shape of the flat top pyramid appears to be made as if someone has drawn 4 dots in a line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 above it. 1, 2, 3. Then 2 above that. 4, 3, 2. Connected those dots to reveal this iconic shape. And of course, let's not forget that the square root of the all-important factor 9 grid is 3 threes. Who else knew about 432? The answer is very surprising. In India, large cycles of time called Kali Yugas, and each one is 432,000 years long. Ay ay caramba. In fact, the number 432 appears so often in sacred structures and myths, from Stonehenge to the pyramids, that author Joseph Campbell, not Joseph Atwill, scratch that one, we got Joseph Campbell, another synchronicity within the giving of the studies of the things that are, too many Josephs. We need some more Josephs in here. Too many, sorry. Joseph Campbell, as in that nasty little product you can buy that's called a soup. I don't particularly like it or ever buy it, but Campbell, Joseph Campbell. He could not help but see it is the most important mythological number in history. So what do we have here then, Dave? Well, is it that? What is it that's trying to be expressed by all of these coincidences? One answer is that over the course of history, we have been somehow guided toward both the subconscious creation and eventual conscious recognition of a grand pattern based on frequency, mathematics, time, space, and gravity. Ooh, five, the famous five: frequency, mathematics, time, space, geometry. Quite possibly, the synchronistic numbers, shapes, and tones represent the building blocks of a language that we do not fully understand, but it could turn out to be the most important language David and you will ever learn. Self initiates. Who will. Who? Wow. How? It actually says how as well. That's so bad. But there you go. How will we use it? Who will we be conversing with? Well, time will tell, fam, won't it? Time will tell. Thousands of years ago, from all locations over this very realm, various prophets, shamans, and seers, Sears, as in not the department store from America, no, but seers as in prophets and shamans, they described an era where humanity would make some kind of cosmic leap to a next level of consciousness. And here, at the dawning of the new age, the Aquarius, the pouring of the picture, the water, and the start of a new back-tuned cycle, maybe it has started to happen. Ascension is thus way, initiates. Crucifixion and Boris Project is this way, and I hope not many of you go that way. If you do, take some protection. And remember, don't believe everything you read. I want you to do the math. I want you to do the sums. As always, I want you to get back to me with what you've got. Unfortunately, I have to go straight away. I will say thank you to everybody. We'll do a name shout again. I've got 2 calls to do. We're all chilling. This end, I'm going to ring Josh X and Sister Karen and catch up with them. And I'll see you all soon through window. All right then. So FPV, I see there at the top. Jack streaming. Quinn. Who else we got? We Are Guardians. Yes, nice one. You get luck in there. Octaves. It is indeed F. We're all decoding in our little way, F. I need to catch up with your vids and channels. Thanks for the links, my brother. Give the family a lot of hugs and fist bumps from yours truly. We are in a rock solid position, and we'll see how it all ties up and balances. I don't know anything what F's doing. He doesn't tell me. We chat infrequently, and we're overdue one. The research you will see will line up as it always does. You cannot hide truth. We do it full of love. Number 3, number 9, indeed. 12s, in a Tesla, you know. This is the truth. The numbers won't lie. Politicians will lie. Government ministers will lie. Documents will lie. Deception is rife. One thing that doesn't lie is simple maths and science. When a scientist, chemist makes a formulation, it can be sent all around the globe, and other chemists can have that. French, Italian, German, Greek, Romanian, all of the languages, and they will all read that and make that same chemical to the exact milligram of that ingredient. And they all read different languages, but they have one universal, no room for interpretation. When you start to interpret, that's the grey area. That's when we need the others that come in. Oh, hello there. Yes, I'm from Jeremy to Smythe and Smithy and Co. We'd like to represent you. Yes, we're for hire, you know. For hire. Ha ha, yes. Ha, ha. Shove it up your arse. All right, so sorry for that. Get carried away. I love you guys. Gotta go. Much to do, and we're in a good place. So thank you. Ciao, bello, and we'll be in touch. Look at that. It's what dreams are made of. One day in England, patches. It's a bit, needing a bit of work, but it's farm life. It's nice and clean. Lily, do you want to say bye? She does speak. She loves it. Lily, we're going. Come on, have a chat with our Lily. Look, she just loves it. Never really had an affinity to a goat in ever. But this little thing, I'll just sit here, watch. Hello, Lily. What are you doing? You want a little chew? You want a little chew? Show me 5 shades head as well. Look, not the no. You're too loving, you are. She gives you a butt. Oh, thank you for that, my love. Don't bite the toes. You see that 5-star head there as well? 5-star. She's lovely, aren't you? She eats plastic and leaf. She's tied up in the hot sun. You know, when you think you got a hard life, You think, you know, an animal born free. Thanks for that shot, Lil. That's beautiful. Such finesse. There we go. And yeah, I've befriended her. Goats aren't horrible like we think. They are used for horrible things, but you're a creation of all, aren't you, Lil? Yeah, she's done no wrong. She's a little bit stretched, look. Bless her, but I keep an eye on her. Give her strokes, check her water. She's cutting the grass. I think I might have sat in a bit of that light, you know, it's everywhere. But yeah, self-governing would be self-sustaining as well, not reliant upon, you know, food pollutant, base compound minerals that we're missing, which is why we're getting cancer. You know, there's a lot of guilt and crime here to some extent, but then you've got a choice. Much like the plastic utensils and things that they sell in supermarkets, they'll sell the smart price, budget, value range with the full BPA cancer causing toxins that get released when you put it into a microwave and heat it up. Not that you should use a microwave, but this is the fact of life, time and convenience. And then right next to it, you'll get the BPA free non-cancer material to buy for an extra £5 or something more, when man really at the consciousness we're at should think, actually nobody should be really eating crappy graded plastics, putting it into a microwave and getting cancerous emissions from it. But they can do that legally. Now, would I do that with a conscience? We say conscience overrides legal. Legal is a parameter of which is not quite at your spiritual, you know, honourable level. There's no honour in war. All's fair in love and war. Well, this is a message direct to the Crown of London. All's fair in love and war. You started it. We're going to finish it. There will not be a single drop of blood spilled. There'll be no malice. I wish no harm to anybody. But oh, are we going to make an example? Oh, are we going to make a call, a noise, a din? But it's going to come in the form of lawful, you know, claims and evidence is therefore in such a way, the plausible deniability of which man is being slaughtered and put to death with via the sanctioning, again, legal. Please, we are too strong and powerful and honourable and loving. And you know, you are not anywhere near what you could be. The version that you are is, you know, the version that I am, we are, is there's a lot of capability and expansion here. And that language, that science, those videos on the playlist by, I think it's George Merkel, and the names that I'm dropping here, I'm hitting you hard and fast with this one. I had it planned. It's all in the pipeline. I didn't have the issues with the economy and trade planned, and I thought we'd be in a better place, you know, secure than we are now. So I apologise for that. There is a little bit of a scramble due to the continuum of the divided pagan club of Rome. And if you go to the playlist that I've created with the Bible studies in, I can prove that to you as well. So I'm pretty happy with the outline of information. It's all over to you. The power is in your hands. The ball is in your court, and what you do with it is up to you. I am going to play with copper, magnets, many things. Josh X, I am incoming to go and chat to him now. Sister Karen, and we'll look at hangouts and chats and everything as we need to. And I'm going to be off now. We're off the clock. I've got one more video of numbers to bring you about cancer that brother David from Liverpool sent me. That's going to be just a repeat. It's disgusting. It tells you how many millions of us are going to die of cancer, how we're going to die of cancer, and how it can be stopped, and what we can do, and how many lives we can save. The fact that we go on doing what we're doing, and you know, it's quite a harrowing presentation. A bit like these Roman studies that we're bringing to you now, decoded bibliotexts of heliocentric origin. So again, I'm gonna say thank you, much love. I've done my bit, and I've made up for any sins that I may have done, I would imagine, and I will be back with more information, lots and lots. Indeed we will. That's it. You tell me, Dave. You tell me it's a flat realm. It says it in the Bible, it's a flat realm. It says lots of things there, but that Bible I've proven to you is written by naughty, you know, well, I believe it is. You have your belief. Who's got the evidence? Nikola Tesla, you know, he's got theories, quantum, vortex. So Dave of the Pool clan, you've made a claim, and there are lots of claims to support that. Water and things going round at miles. You know, I put a telescope there and I look at the stars and you see one movement, but yeah, we got this one, and we got going around the sun, we got the sun on its path. I hear you, yes, but I can't prove that. I've got law to focus on. The flat earth realm is for you and the you know, Dave and others to put your time in. I've got a finite amount of time, and I'm being constructive, and I'm not too fussed at the minute if it's round or flat. I might be pissed off, but it doesn't directly affect my life right now. Okay, what directly affects my life right now is the Roman inclusion and usurping and what's the word should we put it as there? Subjugating, subrogating, the assumptions and presumptions, the spanctioning. Fucking Grenfell, for shit's sake. Who's gone to prison for that? Not swearing at you, Dave. I'm just a bit like, you know, importance of flat or round. Don't give a rat's ass. I really don't. But the maths and the science will point us in the direction. Any man out there, I'm you know, Crow 777 and Santos Bonacci and Michael Tellinger, I've got some very, very concise information about whether it's flat, round, pear-shaped. Neil deGrasse Tyson, he does make me laugh lots at him. And yeah, so I'm not going to go in there. I've got my own opinion. If I was to argue, I'd say it looks like it's a fixed immovable object within space, like it says in the scriptures. Can I prove that to you though, Dave? No, not at all. Can you prove anything to me? No, it's a belief system yet again. How far do we go with that belief? Well, you tell me. I'm on to the law and practical things that will help unbond and stop blood, sacrifice, ritualistic, Kabbalistic, Baal type, you know, family sacrifice. You lot with your round and flat obsession, I'm with you, but there's no time for that for me. No time at all right? Waste of time at this moment in time. When Elon Musk, lone scum anagram, thank you to whoever it was that gave me that, I will never forget it. When he put the big hole in the stratosphere with all that pollution in times where we are saying that the world's heating up and we need to be very careful with carbon footprints and emissions, well, what freaking buffoon sanctioned lone scum to send a stupid piece of metal, an iron horsey that might be electrically powered, up into space in times of, you know, it's a bit like this London train express line that's cutting down hundreds of villages in a time where we need to conserve nature. But back to lone scum, when he did that, Dave and everybody else that's concerned about this realm so badly over anything else that's really important, you know, why didn't he put a camera on the frickin' back of it and show us with his 5G quantum AI all singing and dancing SpaceX camera, you know, and give us a good shot of it? There's a reason for that. Yes, all of the Red Bull jumps and not all of them, the one that the camera angles and the replays from that jump, Africa filling up the whole nation there. Foul play. Yes, indeed, we are seeing much you know, buffoonery. It looks like things are taped together up there in space. There are things going off and people pulling people on cords. I'm with you, Dave, but I haven't got all of the, if we was in a court of law and someone up there was the judge, you know, and we had our grand jury set up and there was me with round and you with flat and we had to come out with it, and you don't think either of us would win, you know, conclusively. We'd prove each other. So I stick to what we can sink our teeth into, and I'm doing rather well, if I don't say so myself, with the areas there. And whoever's doing well with the flat and the round earth, then we can have a chat at an introduction later. I've got all the love in the world for all of you and all of your interests and subject. This is my interest and subject, and it's not so much the flat round, but it has been sparked off by Paul of the White Law clan and estate on Facebook when I was having a chat earlier, and then him saying about the Bibles and asking questions about the realm and if I'm going to ignore or not ignore. I'm not here to answer anybody. I'm here to give you information, and I'm here to do it at my free will and at my leisure, at my expense and my sacrifice. If I want to take criticism and whatever, then I will do so in due course and when I have time, but as I always do, and I think I do that well. I'm annoyed by everything like you are, and we can see that there are lies and deception afoot. Those real lies, and real lies. Yeah, it's all good though, brother. It's all good. Yes, Mr. Dave. Much love to you. As I say, I have my reasons and points, and you have yours. F's on his mission. Anyone else on here that's got a channel with the research, feel free to put it on, or to tell the blue mans that are in the house. It would just be F at the moment, I think, and then we can post links for you. You got my emails and contact, and yeah, man. Thank you very much. It's time to go. The sun has set, or it has travelled far away, so we can't see it. Yeah, see, it's always there. It's relative, and we need to know. It's a crying shame. It's a crime to man that with all this and 2019 and technology that we do not know definitively, and everything that's out there is a CGI composite. We're not idiots, you know. India, search YouTube for India's Mars footage. Absolutely outstanding. Well done, India space program. You have absolutely outshone NASA. Fantastic to watch. Incredible pictures since the since the last time I was wee little and saw a picture of an alleged planet on a screen. Ciao, scribes. Much love.